Today, he moved to distance himself, saying the files are a conspiracy and a hoax made up by previous Democrats.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden information. We went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
And joining me live now is Nathan Daschle. He's a Democrat lobbyist and president of the Daschle Group. Are you part of this conspiracy of fascination on the Democrat side? He says it's all a Democrat hoax by Obama, Biden, et al. What do you think, Nathan?
I think that's pretty outrageous. The thing about Donald Trump is that he wants to release the JFK files. He wanted to release all kinds of files that have been confidential for years. But for some reason, he shows hesitation when it comes to the Epstein files. And modifying your request, it's easy to say, let's release all the files. It's a little bit weird to say, let's release the credible files. And anytime you're modifying it, it's just suspicious. And to be honest with you, I'm really not that interested in the Jeffrey Epstein matter. I agree with Trump there, but I am interested in why he seems so cagey about it.
Yes, and a few conservatives like Tucker Carlson, Glenn Beck, others have pointed that out as well. It is, I would say this, it is not in keeping with Donald Trump's usual bolshiness to want to release files, like you say, the JFK files.
Absolutely. I mean, Donald Trump, he exerts executive power like no one else, and there is no one stopping him. If he wants to do something, he will do it. And there is a demand, and you're right, it's from both sides. There's a demand to release these files, and for some reason, he's hesitant to do so. And the idea that Biden and Obama have made up or somehow manufactured these files is absolutely outrageous. There is no evidence of that. But the best way to deal with it is to be transparent. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And what he should do is release all the files and let us all decide what happened.
Yeah, we will see. And look, there's plenty of evidence and stories written about the timeline of the Epstein case, what Trump said before he was president in terms of wanting to release the files, and now what he is saying after. But I want to talk about pharmaceuticals and tariffs and the like. This is big breaking news for us this morning because, of course, we are waiting to hear what tariff will be imposed on our goods going into the United States. Pharmaceuticals is one area that we're particularly nervous about. But Trump's saying, yeah, he's getting onto Air Force One today saying, yeah, he's going to impose those pharmaceutical tariffs by the end of the month. Doesn't know what level it'll be at. It'll be a low level and then it'll go high. But again, as I was speaking about with Ed Boyd, our business reporter, is that surely this is just more leverage, because if he imposes these tariffs on pharmaceuticals, it makes more expensive medicines that are already, by world standards, very expensive indeed.
You're absolutely right. I mean, there are two reasonable reactions to the idea of pharmaceutical tariffs. The first is, as a matter of policy, it is a horrendous policy. It would make, as you say, drugs so much more expensive, and in particular, generic drugs. And in the United States, 90% of prescriptions are generic drugs. And Trump ran on cost of living, and this is only going to increase the healthcare costs for all Americans. But the second reaction is that of the investors, which is to sort of shrug this off, because there's a saying in the United States recently, you probably heard it, called TACO, Trump always chickens out, which is shorthand for, he makes these threats, but he doesn't carry them out. And I think most investors, and even with these pharmaceutical tariffs, he said there's going to be a year or year and a half time to implement them. And I think the investors are all thinking there's just no way he goes through with it, that this is just another empty threat. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but it's sort of taking a 2x4 to a very precious matter of policy. But I really kind of side with the investors. I think this is just another empty threat. And at this point, Trump is sort of the boy who cried wolf. And people are just not taking his threats as seriously.
Yeah, we can see that from the market and the reaction from the market to US inflation being higher than thought. And this is all due to these tariffs. But they're looking through it now. They're unperturbed.
Yeah, they are. But I don't know if this will last. I mean, I think that if inflation continues to rise, and if the Fed does not lower interest rates, I think there will be a negative reaction. But I think that Trump and the people around him know that. And that's part of the reason why they don't go through with this. They know that they can get the media to report on their threats if they come out with a very heavy-handed threat. But I think they know as a matter of policy that these tariffs are a bad idea.
Yeah, look, we can't not report it. It's irresistible.
Of course.
We have to, absolutely. But we also, as you and I are discussing, need to keep in check just a little bit. We've learned a lot since Liberation Day, I would say, Nathan. Always good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Likewise.
We'll see you soon.